What's up guys, Nando here. So today I want to talk about a possible tier list. So in case you didn't know, we recently got a new PTB. I might actually, if they stick with these changes, you can go and look through my last video where I go over the changes a little bit. And you can check out my thoughts and opinions on what I can only describe as a complete disaster, this PTB. I've been playing DBD on and off since 2017, and this is probably the worst thing I've ever seen come from this game. Like, as buggy as the last patch was, I didn't even want to talk about it. I didn't even play during the last patch because how buggy it was. I didn't play all that much. The meta didn't really change from my previous tier list, but now with this patch I'm gonna do a predictive tier list in case this does go through. So if you're watching this from the future and this patch did not go through or there were significant changes, I will either make a new one or just disregard this one completely. But in case this does go through, I think we need to talk about how the killers are gonna perform. I think the overall power of the killer role is going to be severely nerfed. Unfortunately, this patch, I expressed my frustration as well with it. It kills the basic core gameplay loop of DBD, where the killer is going to be a minor inconvenience most of the time. And I think if you really want to win and play DBD in a somewhat competitive state, you're gonna have to go with the S tiers. Then again, I don't even know what the point of this game is at this point. I might actually drop it in favor of Tekken. If in case you didn't know, I do play Tekken a lot. I'm still not very good at it, but I'm doing my best. Let's get right into it. So I'm gonna have the changes in mind, and from what little experience I've had with the game on PTB. So let's just start with the Trapper. Trapper is gonna go into the D tier again. These changes hurt him quite a bit. As you're gonna see, this is going to be a trend with a lot of other killers that were weak before this patch. They're gonna stay weak. Even with the perk changes, they are not significant enough to push these killers up a bit in terms of power level. The bonuses that you get from hooking unique survivors are not nearly enough to make it worthwhile playing the Trapper. You get a 10% haste. Some of the other killers get a little bit less. We're gonna talk about it later. And yeah, it's just there's no point in playing Trapper. You can play Trapper if you're a loyalist or if you're a masochist, depending on who you ask. But yeah, Trapper is not gonna be good. Wraith actually, I think, can make use of... so yeah, I quickly want to mention this before I go into the Wraith. You can actually... you actually lose the move speed bonus if you break a pallet, which I think is insane. It's actually insane that you lose it. So I had someone in my chat yesterday tell me, oh, you can just go around the loop and hit them with the movement speed bonus. Yeah, but they made in case you also didn't know this, the maps are so dense with pallets now that it's actually crazy. There are no more dead zones in certain maps that used to have a lot of them, which, for the overall health of the game, I could understand. But again, this is going to punish you for playing just a low-tier killer. Wraith can actually make use, due to his mobility, he can make use of some of the... Actually, I think C is too low. I think he could be a B-tier killer after these changes. These changes kind of work well for Wraith because if he's undetectable, the unhooked survivors cannot read his aura, which, is always helpful. 30 seconds of survivor basically having undetectable in every sense of the word, immune to killer instinct even, we've never had that in the game before, and can see aura for 30 seconds, that's absolutely insane. And of course, even if you find the survivor and you want to forcefully brute force the tunnel, the survivor can go through you, so you cannot body block them at the pallet anymore. But that being said, base kit barbecue and chili, base kit haste, base kit pop does work in Raid's favor, because you can hook a survivor, go cloak, kick a gen, and, you know, go to another survivor. Obviously, the surprise element of barbecue and chili is completely gone. They changed barbecue and chili to give you, if you get unique hooks, you get the extra generator damage. But it's like 5%, so I don't think it's going to be that significant. Killers will want to run a lot of kick perks now, because Oppression got buffed as well. So, yeah. Hillbilly... okay, so Hillbilly... let me just put the S tiers where they're supposed to be. Just give me a moment here. We have Kaneki, we have Dracula. Who am I missing here? Okay, I'm gonna add a row above. And we're gonna name it... we're just gonna put an asterisk here. For this killer, I'm gonna talk about her later. So, I don't think I'm missing any killers... Oh yeah, Blight, of course. How could I forget? Okay, so... now that we're talking, let's talk about S tiers real quick. So they also get the same barbecue and chili effect, even though everybody thought it was gonna be some sort of reduced effect or something, but it's not. It's 40 meters like everyone else, but they do get a less kick damage on the gen, and they get less haste. So instead of 10%, they gain 5. But as you can see with all of the killers here, what do they all have in common? It's insane mobility. So, Hillbilly doesn't really care about the haste all that much. I don't think Nurse does either. Blight, maybe a little bit, and Dracula also kind of doesn't really care all that much about haste. So this will not affect them, but I do think that Dracula nerfs were quite significant, that he is gonna have to go into A tier. I don't think... he will be as strong as he is. He's still going to be, you know, fairly strong. Definitely A tier, high A tier. But I just think that the punishment for missing your Hellfire, and even when you hit them, you give Survivor a lot of ground, and increased charge time on Pounce is also has also weakened him quite a bit, and the recharge time from Centaurs getting reduced. You know, all of these things are a nerf to Dracula. Yeah. Now let's talk about the second star of the show, because the first star is here. I'm gonna leave her for the end. The second star of the show is Myers. My prediction, like, if Myers didn't... like, if he came out on a regular patch, I think Myers could... you can make a case for him being A tier for sure. But considering the changes... you can get really screwed by just a survivor that doesn't know who just body blocking, because you get the option to mori them, and if you mori, you know, too early, you know, you get penalized for that. So yeah, but him, yeah, I think I could see him being an A tier as well. We're gonna come back to Myers when we talk about the new killer as well. Hag, okay, so I put, if I remember correctly, last tier list I put Hag in A. She's gonna drop down to B, maybe even low. I think she could possibly be worse than Raid now. Maybe even a C tier killer. So Hag's biggest strength, first of all, she's a 4.4 killer. Second of all, her biggest strength was shutting down loops and being very good at tunneling. You know, that was her thing. But now with the tunnel nerf, it's gonna be painful. It's gonna be painful for Hag, and I don't see a reason for anyone to play her unless you really like the killer. But again, she does have some anti-loop. The problem with that is the game does not have nearly enough dead zones anymore, you know, for her to be, you know, valuable as, you know, for punishment tool. Again, the survivors could be careless and just, you know, you could still trap the hook and have the survivors be careless and just, you know, walk and then you get info. But like against a slightly competent team, that's never gonna happen. You're never gonna get your trap pops next to hook, which was already a problem with her. The thing is that, you know, you could proxy camp before, and that would help a lot with that. You could just, you know, scare them away. They run into one of your traps, you get a free hit. But now I don't think that's gonna happen nearly as much anymore. So yeah, I think Hag is one of the killers that got punished by this quite a bit. Doctor, I think Doctor's, I don't know, Doctor's always been kind of solid, kind of mid. He's gonna go into C tier. I don't know how much he's going to be affected by the changes, and my guess is that probably not that much. He has the luxury where he can shut down loops, but again, he's an M1 killer, and you really need to know what you're doing with your power. He's fundamentally difficult in a sense that you need to work to win your chases. And that requires proper usage of his power. So I don't think much will change for Doctor per se, but again, he's going to suffer the same thing that all the lower tiers are gonna suffer, but it just feels dishonest putting him in D tier together with Trapper, you know, all things considered. Huntress, okay, Huntress is one of the killers that will most likely not be affected by these changes all that much. Huntress is still very strong, still my most hated killer. I really dislike her design. You know, you are welcome to disagree. I think Huntress is a really stupid killer that needs to be looked at. Something done with her, because she has a very high skill ceiling, but her skill floor is so low that even a baby Huntress can actually kill you. Like, I mean, she could before. Very, very dumb killer in my opinion. Yeah. Baba, okay, Baba is one of the killers that's gonna suffer the most from these changes. I think I can't put him below Trapper just because he has insta-down. That's his only saving grace, you having insta-down. But since every map is gonna be Pellet City now, you know, you're gonna have to brute force through a lot of pallets. And his best strength was proxy camping. I mean, he could still be able to do that, but you can't really slug anymore. And if you do tunnel, it's gonna come and bite you in the ass. So yeah, I think Baba is kind of dead, honestly. But he still has an insta-down, so, you know, that's something. Freddy is one of the few killers that can actually, you know, that actually can work with the patch. But I don't know, he still gets punished for the changes. I think Freddy is still really strong. Like, people underestimate Freddy. I put him in A tier in my last tier list, and people were like, oh, you put Freddy in A tier. I think Freddy is a really solid killer, very rare to see, so people are not always prepared for him. And I think he's pretty underestimated as a killer. And since he can teleport to gens specifically, he can make use of the new changes. So yeah, I'm gonna put Freddy in A tier. I think he might, in a certain way, benefit from these changes. Pig. Okay, so I'm gonna put Pig and Sadako here. The reason for this is that I think that both of them, I don't know if it's a bug, I hope it is, but it seems when you mori with Sadako or when the trap gets popped by the Pig, you still get penalized if you don't have enough hooks. If this is the case, then these killers, there's literally no reason to play these killers. Pig could be a little bit stronger than Sadako, but like, one of the main ways Sadako will kill careless survivors is by stacking Condemned. And if you can track how you're stacking Condemned, track which survivors have tapes, you can punish them for not using the tape on time. Because every time she hooks you, she locks the condemned progress to a certain amount that you cannot remove. And so what now, one survivor can, you know, be super careless in your solo queue game. They die to Sadako, and Sadako gets completely punished for survivor being a noob, basically. If that's the case, I like, even with her teleports, she can make use of the buffs, but I don't think it's nearly enough to compensate for this oversight by the devs, if it's not a bug. Pig, on the other hand, I think is a little bit stronger in terms of this. You can kind of sneak your way out, but you're gonna get called out. But like, this is the issue with Pig and Wraith as well. But you know, even if you get called out by the Wraith, by the time you get called out, you're probably onto another survivor. With Pig, on the other hand, you're gonna get called out when you leave the hook, especially if it's a Swift. And yeah, but she does have the luxury of slowing the game down. Yeah, I think she's better than Trapper. Just because she has stealth, she has the ambush attack, and the traps are gonna work regardless. It's not like Sadako, so yeah. Yeah, and Sadako being this low is really heartbreaking. Like, if you ever watched my stream, you know I'm a Sadako main. I love playing her, and like this is just sad. I don't know what else to say. Clown got adjusted a little bit. Before he would go high A tier. Now I think he's still gonna be A tier. He's just not going to be as brain dead as he was. He was brain dead and broken at the same time. But now with these changes, he's a little bit more bearable. Still very annoying. Not so popular, I would say. So yeah. Spirit. Okay, so Spirit is kind of in between, I think. Okay, let's just do this, so I feel a little bit better about this. So let's just say this is S-, and I'm gonna put Spirit and Kaneki here. Spirit has always been historically a strong killer. There's very little counterplay you can do with her. She's one of the least interactive killers in the game. By design, unfortunately. You have to rely on sound, but like, if the Spirit is experienced, it's not gonna help you all that much. She gets free hits and free downs all the time. She can traverse the map really quickly with the new changes as well. So yeah, I think she's gonna be fairly strong. I don't think she's stronger than Kaneki, which we're gonna get to the S tiers and new killers a little bit later. Legion, yeah, Legion is just... I think Legion is better than the Pig. Yeah, I think Legion is better than the Pig. Legion is gonna just do the Legion thing. But again, like, the killer instinct change also kind of screws with their power. But if you play quote-unquote, like, I'm putting this in big quotation marks, if you play quote-unquote the correct way, I think you can get some use out of Legion. I think in the previous patch and in a couple of patches before Legion, I might have slightly underrated the Legion. I think they're not as weak, especially if they're played by a strong killer player. Legion can get use of the new buffs, but I don't know. It will. So Legion can either go here or go like top D tier. It's honestly gonna depend on the perks and add-ons and your skill as well. Plague's still gonna be strong. Do I put... Okay. I think she fits here well. I'm gonna go through the list again and just kind of change a few things. Plague... I hate when people say Plague takes no skill. Plague takes skill. I'm sorry, like, you can disagree with that, but Plague is not a brain-dead killer. It requires good fundamental knowledge of the game to play her. And her power is, like, especially with if there's a map with... it's an indoor map or a map with all walls, which is where all of the range killers kind of suffer. She suffers as well. Maybe she suffers the most, now that I think of it. Maybe not as much as Deathslinger, but still quite a bit. And if the team is incompetent, she can steamroll, but like if they don't cleanse, you don't have your power. You're just an M1 killer. So yeah, there's that. But still, I think with correct add-ons, perks, and if you play her correctly, she's an A. So I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt that the killer being played on this list is up to their fullest potential. Ghostface, I don't know, it's rough. Ghostface is rough. Ghostface is not a good killer, like overall. Ghostface is not good. Yeah, I think like he's the only true stealth killer in the game. Like Sadako is a stealth killer, but she has a lullaby. You have the pig, who is kind of a stealth killer. Then Wraith, but Wraith isn't really a stealth killer. You can kind of see him and hear him coming from 15 kilometers away. So I think Ghostface is the only true stealth killer. Like when you think of stealth. And I think that's exactly what hurts him the most. Yeah, man, I don't know. Ghostface is rough. He's very popular, but like he's not good at all. So he goes there. Historically he's been weak, and I don't know, unless he gets a major rework, something like Myers, he's gonna stay weak for a pretty long time. I think, yeah. Demogorgon. Okay, Demogorgon is, again, one of the killers that can make use. Actually, now that I think of it, maybe Hag should go here, actually. It just feels dumb putting Hag here. But she does suffer from these changes quite a lot. I'm gonna put her here. Just because of the few Hag, like 5 of the Hag players that are really good at the game. Demogorgon, in my opinion, is the perfect example of a balanced killer in this game. There is nothing broken about this killer. Easy to pilot. At a higher level, not as easy. You need to be good with your shreds. You need to be very strategic with your portals. But overall, a very balanced killer. His shred is really strong though. So yeah, I can see Demogorgon, you know, being C tier. Yeah. That's all I have to say. Very, very kind of basic killer. Oni, oh my god, Oni. Yikes, man. Oni got completely screwed by these changes, so in case you don't play this game, or, you know, you're not in the loop, the main way Oni plays is, Oni gets the power. He gets the power by hitting a survivor, then chasing him a little bit, forcing bolts and stuff like that. So they drop these blood orbs. Oni collects the blood orbs, and then he gets his power, which is kind of like a Billy dash, but like he can hit multiple survivors as well, breaks pallets instantly. He can slide off of pallets, he's not actually forced into breaking them. And what Oni would do, he would down one survivor, then go up to the next, snowball, and try to end the game as quickly as possible. They buffed the blood orb drop rate now. But the fact that the core gameplay of Oni was the slug is completely screwed. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, he went from, like, borderline S tier to, I think B is where he would sit now, just simply due to the fact that he can still, you know, get downs pretty quickly with his power. So, that's always a plus when you have an insta-down. It doesn't help Baba, though. Okay, Slinger is one of the killers that can make use of the new things, but like I don't think he comes nowhere near close as like Huntress. Why did I put Clown in A tier again? I mean, he's strong, but like I don't think he's A tier. He's probably top of B tier. Slinger, yeah, like Slinger, it's a struggle to play him. He is kind of difficult and awkward to play. More pellets now, which means less hits for Slinger. Yeah, like I'm thinking of him and putting him into C tier, but you know, range killers always have something more, but he's 110 killer as well. So yeah, I think bottom of the B tier, whatever else goes here. Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head. Actually, I don't know. It's hard to say how affected he will be with these changes. Not a lot, I would imagine. But again, like careless survivors, and you kill one of them, you get punished for it. I think he's still strong enough to warrant an A-tier spot. Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. I think Pyramid Head still can be an A-tier killer for sure. He is very strong. They made him a little bit easier to play now. He's less clunky, which is one of the things that I wanted. If it were the previous patch, I thought there was definitely a case for putting him in S tier even. But with the changes here, yeah, I think he's one of the killers that's going to be least affected by this. But still, you know, you can't down and Mori as survivor anymore. So, you know, that's one part of his kit gone completely. So yeah, twins. Oh god, twins also got punished extremely hard for this kill is their playstyle, but I still do think that they're overtuned and very strong. Like even in previous patches, if you said that twins are S tier killer, I don't think many people would disagree with you. There is some counterplay to them, but like if they twins are very well known for slugging and tunneling. If they tunnel a survivor even at 2 gens, sometimes even at 1 gen, it can be almost impossible to play the game. Now that's not going to be the case anymore because they will get punished if they do that. So yeah, I'm still gonna put them in lower side of A tier, I would say. I do think Pyramid Head's stronger than Freddy though. Okay, Trickster. Okay, Trickster's kind of a weird one. This is one of the killers that's one of the most hated killers in the game, and you know, I can understand why. He's still gonna be extremely obnoxious to play. Like Trickster is a feast or famine killer, where it really depends on the map and the competency of survivors. But sometimes even the competency of the survivors doesn't, you know, do a lot if you're like in rotten fields or something like that, where it's just like open areas everywhere, you don't have anywhere to hide. Trickster's just gonna down you in like 2 seconds. That's his thing. How much the changes will affect him, I'm not really sure, but I do think his Slinger has to go C, I think. Yeah, I think so. Stronger than Nemo, I think. Yep. Nemi. Okay, Nemi is... God, like, let me just put Myers up here. I need to talk about these two at the end. Nemi can definitely... I don't know. So if he gets going, like, he's really hard to stop. If he gets the early tier 2 and tier 3, it's really hard to play against him. And he also can destroy pallets as well pretty quickly in tier 2 and tier 3. The biggest problem with this killer is that he's really slow to start up. But once he gets going, it's really hard to stop him, which, you know, is kind of thematically, you know, it's cool. I do think he's very strong, and historically has always been so. Yeah, he will not get affected by these changes nearly as much as some of the killers that are lower in this list. Pinhead should go like somewhere around here, I think. About this is a proper placement. Historically, always a strong killer. Will not get affected by these changes a lot. Hard to play. You need a lot of experience with him. A lot of intricacies, a lot of tricks that you can do with him. But overall, once you master him, he's a really solid choice. Yeah. Artist gonna go into A tier. I don't think, again, like, some of these killers will not be nearly as much, like, it won't be affected nearly as much as the others. So, you know, you can see that a lot of the upper tiers are not so different, but the lower tiers are. And of course, some of the killers feels like they got targeted, like this killer and this killer and this killer. Still, twins, I think, are strong enough to, like, to kind of just get grazed by these changes. Hag, on the other hand, not so much. Now that the more I'm looking at her, the more I want to put her here. But let's just stay on the topic for now. So Artist, they didn't nerf her in that patch when I was talking, so she's still very powerful, extremely good at shutting down loops. If you ever played against a good Artist, it's really hard to play against. Her loop shutdown is kind of brain dead, but again, she's one of the harder killers to play if you want to get the full potential out of her. So yeah, she stays solid in A tier, I would say. Yeah. Dredge, Dredge is an interesting one. With the changes now, I think Dredge has more potential for outplay. Dredge's biggest problem was that it's an M1 killer, so you have to chase, yada yada yada. But since he can teleport, the Dredge can teleport now, and can exit the locker and still have some of the speed boost. I think he can benefit from these changes. The thing that's holding him back is the need to, like, not tunnel. So like you'll see a common pattern here. Like almost all of the killers here, and even some of the killers here, needed that tunneling or slugging pressure. Now that's basically completely gone, and these killers are obviously going to suffer quite a bit. So yeah, Dredge can make some use of the you know, the power, but yeah, I don't know. Sadako also can, but like Sadako, Dredge can kind of shut down loops in a way. Sadako doesn't really have that luxury. You have to mind game a lot with her. So yeah, that's why I like, if this was the all tier list, you know, Sadako would be probably like somewhere around here or here. But with the current state, I think she could be the, like, there's definitely an argument that she's one of the weakest killers in the game now. Vesker, I'm gonna put Vesker to close to Nemesis. He's gonna get hurt by the changes as well. I think both Vesker and Nemesis kind of strive to do the same thing, with Vesker being a lot harder to pilot than Nemesis. And he's one of the harder killers in the game, and like I said, I used to hate this killer a lot, but I've grown to like him now. I even play him sometimes. Yeah, he's gonna suffer from this for sure, but not just because of the changes themselves, it's just that he's so hard to pilot properly, and the extra pellets don't help. Like in his prime condition, I would have put him like mid A tier, but like I just can't with a good conscience put him that high anymore. Still, you know, he has some nice tools, so yeah. Knight, oh god, like I keep forgetting Knight exists sometimes. Knight, like Knight, I think he's gonna be like around the same area as Wraith, maybe something like this. Or like, yeah, I think this placement, is he better than Oni though? I think he is actually with these changes. I think he is. So something like this. Knight, very, in my opinion, a very boring killer to play. Very boring killer to play against. Has horrible reputation due to 3-gen meta. Little to no skill required to pilot him. He's kind of brain dead. But again, he's gonna feel the effects of the new changes. He was also kind of good at slugging as well. Won't have as much luxury to do that anymore. So yeah, and Deerstalker got completely changed. So you know, if you thought that you could use Deerstalker to like kind of circumvent some of these changes, then unlucky. Singularity is not going to be affected by these. I think he's one of the killers that are going to completely ignore the changes, which I find quite interesting. I don't think Singularity cares about these changes nearly as much as some of the other killers. Even the S tiers can get hurt by this, but Singularity is one of the killers I can see not like giving a single fuck about the changes. So he's gonna go here. I think yeah, something like this. He was really strong before the patch as well, but now he's even stronger. Like he's not even stronger. It's just that these killers became weaker. Is what I want to say. Skull Merchant still the most garbage killer in the game. I like to play her for the memes because she's so weak. Now I'm not going to even touch her with a 10-foot pole if these changes. I mean, like, the question is if I will even play the game anymore. But even if I do, I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole until they rework her. Really bad. I do not recommend, unless you like know what you're getting into. You know you're gonna get completely destroyed. Do not play this killer. Alien. Alien kind of Alien kind of plays similarly to Dredge, but stronger. The problem with Alien is that if you try to go for a chase and you get kicked out of your power by the flame turret, you're kind of completely useless. That's what's holding him back. The flame turrets are kind of strong, but if you have the power like you're god at loops, he's not as Alien is not as oppressive as it used to be. But I do think he's quite a bit better than all of the killers below. So yeah, I'm gonna put him there. Chucky, I think I underestimated Chucky a little bit. He can go here. Still heavily gutted, but he got nerfed so many times. Like the nerf the pig meme should go nerf Chucky. But still, I think in the hands of a good player or a capable Chucky player, he can still get some results. So he's gonna land here. Unknown got some change. Okay, so we'll save Unknown as well because Unknown got significant changes as well. Vecna is a strong killer and always has been and probably always will be. I think he's like lands right about here. You can use Fly to pressure quickly after the hook. Strong tools for basically almost every situation. Doesn't really struggle all that much. Very strong overall. So yeah, not much to say about him. He's very versatile and strong at the same time. So yeah. Houndmaster. I think my A tier is a bit stacked up, so I'm gonna put Houndmaster here, but if you wanna say choose here, sure, go for it. The problem with Houndmaster is that she's super clunky. Super clunky, still buggy, unreliable, but when she does work, she's very strong, very strong. But the problem is that she's bugged a lot of the time, so yeah, she fits here perfectly, I think. Like right in between these two tiers. If they iron out some of her more egregious bugs, I can see her being like mid to low A tier for sure. Springtrap. Yeah, I think Springtrap is kind of in the same boat as Alien, where if you miss your axe, if you misplay, you get punished severely. The survivors can just leave a loop. You do get the extra movement speed when you don't have the axe, but yeah, like, and it's gonna take a while. He has the benefit of traversal, like similar to Alien. like, you're gonna notice that all of the killers here either have, like, benefit of a traversal or some other form of pressure outside of maybe Trickster, who should probably actually go here. Yeah, he has that benefit. So I don't know. Is he better than Oni and like all of these killers here? I don't know. I think he it's fine here. Yeah, he can be here as well. Yeah. Okay, let's quickly go over S tiers besides Spirit and the 3 killers I have on top here, and then we're gonna place them. Nurse, not gonna get affected by these changes at all. She could easily 12 hook before, she can easily 12 hook now, that won't change. Still gonna be weaker at tunneling, but if she really wanted to, she can still tunnel and push through the penalties. She can brute force tunnel and push through the penalties as well. I don't know what to say about this killer. I've said it a million times before, and millions of others have said it. This killer is completely broken, and she's gonna stay broken forever. She's been like in this state basically for 9 years. So I don't think they're gonna change her. I always advocated for spasmodic breath, and I'm like repeating it all of the time. Make it base kit so she actually has to chase, you know, so she doesn't break all of the rules of Dead by Daylight. Even though the devs have broken like a billion rules with this update. Blight and Billy, same kind of story. Like the nurse, they've historically been strong. Billy has went from high A tier to S tier. He was kind of slept on, not all that popular, but now he's really strong. With this update, he's gonna be even stronger. The devs are very much aware of that, which is why they gave him less bonuses compared to other killers. Kaneki, okay, so Kaneki is in a weird spot right now. Still has the map traversal, and I know that he's one of the most hated killers in the game right now. His kidnap tech got completely removed, which is going to hurt him quite a lot. One of the main strengths of this killer is, you know, catching up to the survivor, and, you know, a free hit. But now the kidnap tech is gone. The devs said that it was intended originally, and now it's completely removed. So they said it wasn't a bug, it's supposed to work that way, but they decided to remove it. It was too powerful, in my opinion. Zero counterplay. Kaneki will have counterplay now. You're just gonna have to play a lot smarter, but he is still going to be very strong, in my opinion. Yeah, not much else there to say. I will say this: as much as people think Kaneki is brain dead, I don't think he is. I think he has one of the higher skill ceilings in the game. Kind of similar to what Blight does. You need to understand how the map works, how your hook shots, your slides work, to be able to make the most out of him. So yeah, that's all I'll say about him. And now let's go here. Let's start with the Unknown. So Unknown got some minor buffs in compensation to them nerfing every single add-on. Unknown was a very strong killer, and I can understand nerfing Unknown a little bit, but I think they went overboard, and the compensation buffs they gave Unknown are nothing. The add-on that allowed him to move faster after teleporting got completely gutted, and they added just 0.1 second to regain your movement speed after teleporting. So, you know, I think I did the math in my head a little bit earlier, and it's like you get a little bit less. So yeah, but the nice thing they did, it's kind of a quality of life thing. You can look up higher and show your projectile way higher, so you can go for orbital shots, which is something that, you know, Unknown players, myself included, really wanted for this killer, so that's cool. Unknown, I think Unknown is kind of sitting here comfortably. Like these 4 killers, all very cool killers. And yeah, he got nerfed. Like, if this was a patch before, I would have put him like here, but I don't think with the changes I can put him like higher than this. So yeah, This list is kind of scuffed, I know, but you know that patch was huge. Myers, let's talk about Myers. So one of the things that I like at first is that they gave you the option to still play Scratch Mirror Myers or old tier 3 Myers. So basically you would lose the dash ability and you would instead gain the old tier 3 where the survivors would be exposed, and you would get a 50% increase in lunge, which is cool. Playing it's really easy to get stock points, is what I will say. You get your power, like, you can get your power immediately. There's an add-on that even lets you shut down your power at will, and you get to keep 50% of the progress, which means you get more stocks. It's a purple tombstone add-on, so no more insta-mori. He has like 2 modes. One mode you move slower, it's kind of like the old tier 1. The second one is the old tier 2, but you do get a faster pallet break, faster gen kick, and faster vault, which is also cool. And there's no more lunge reduction in tier 1, and tier 2 gets an increased lunge as well. How good Myers is, I'm gonna put him in a high B tier with a huge asterisk, because I still didn't play enough to completely understand. Okay, so this is the gameplay loop of this killer. I will say that his dash is one of the easiest to control. It's kind of similar to a pig's dash, but you know, you get the benefit of breaking pallets, and you know, you have an insta down, which is really cool. So yeah, I think if I did my math correctly, you can use his dash about, because there's like a 6-second cooldown, you can use your dash about 5 or 6 times before you know, base kit. So yeah, that's all I will say about this. And Krasu, so what I did with Springtime last time, I'm not gonna do this. I will say that she shipped with the nerfed killer buffs. So I'm guessing that they predicted her to be really strong, and I can definitely see the potential of her being strong. She's a mix of multiple things. You get a little bit of Vesker and Nemesis in her, but you also get super fast traversal. You get a ranged attack that can make them broken like the plague, so they have to pick these. There are fungi on the ground, they pick them up, they eat it. And then they remove their infection. There are like 2 tiers. Once you hit tier 2, you become broken. There's a really nasty add-on that if they hit tier 2, not only are they broken, they become 4% hindered. Really nasty add-on. I'm guessing that every person who plays this killer or who decides to main this killer is gonna use that add-on, unless they, of course, they nerf it. But like, super nasty add-on. One thing I will say, this might be due to PTB. She feels a little bit clunky to play at the moment, but it does feel like she has the potential to be really strong. I don't know what else to say about her besides that. She's really cool. I have to say this, really cool, excellent chase team, and they nailed the visuals. Mori is one of she's kind of disgusting with all of the sounds and everything, probably the most disgusting killer, somehow more disgusting than Plague. Mori is super gory. We haven't had anything like that in DBD yet. The closest one when it comes to gore I can think of is probably Singularity. Yeah, she's very cool, and the survivor is nice as well. I just in case you didn't see her, she's kind of like this drummer chick. She speaks both Thai and English, which I found really cool. The killer also speaks a little bit. I think, and you know, don't quote me on this, but I think she might break the popularity of Fang and Sable. That's all I will say about her. Her perks are, you know, whatever, and the killer perks are not so good. There's one perk that's kind of good, where if you get 4 unique hooks, everybody becomes exposed for 60 seconds. So it's kind of like, in a way, like Haunted Grounds. It seems to me that they really want you to push for unique hooks. So they want you to play the game by their own rules, which I think is a waste. So yeah, the last thing I will do here before we finish this is I'm gonna go through the tier list one more time, and we're gonna quickly talk about it. So Skull Merchant, garbage. Do not play her unless you really like her. Sadako gets completely fucked unless they change they change the way her Mori works. She gets completely fucked. Do not play her. She can make some use. I actually yeah, like, she's not that weak. I'm not gonna don't play her that much. She's gonna go here. Because she can still use something with her teleport. Yeah, she should be here, I feel, yeah. Trapper suffers a lot from these changes. Suffers more due to being a low tier killer, so yeah. Ghostface, still bad. Pig, not so strong, gets punished for using her power. Legion is just whatever. Legion is Legion, still will get punished. You won't be able to get it down since Killer Instinct immunity. Good job, devs, well done. Baba will suffer a lot. His playstyle is completely dead now, so, you know, the only thing he has is the insta-down, that's it. Dredge can be strong sometimes. Most of the time, Dredge will not be strong. Still a very cool killer. I like to play him, so yeah. Doctor is just a doctor, not much will change. But yeah, like all of the killers here, like up to maybe the point of like Knight or Clown, like all of the killers below are going to be, you know, punished by the changes more than the ones above them. Where was I? Demo, extremely balanced, extremely fair, not much to say there. Hurt by changes quite a bit. Slinger, probably the weakest out of the range killers. Requires skill, quite a bit of skill to pilot. Won't be able to take a lot of advantage from the hook buffs. Trickster, kind of a similar story, but Trickster has what should I say? Has the luxury of being much easier to pilot and you know, completely dominating on certain maps. So yeah, Chucky will be able to get some use out of the new killer buffs, but he got so nerfed so many times that yeah, the only reason he's up here is that the other killers just got weaker, to be honest. Hag will get extremely punished with her current playstyle. I don't know, very sad for all the 5 Hag players in the world. Yeah, she can still be strong in loops, it's just that her main strength is completely gone with this patch. Wraith is one of the rare killers that goes up a tier because he can get a lot of use out of the buffs, so yeah, Wraith's gonna be super strong compared to his old self, at least. Oni completely gutted. Unfortunately, his playstyle's completely dead. He's gonna have to, you know, down a survivor, pick them up, hook them, like do the same thing that Billy does, but like infinitely worse. Still has a dash, has mobility and insta-down, so that's something. Knight is pretty much going to stay the same, minus the tunneling, which knocks him down a little bit. Clown, not as brain dead anymore. He's still gonna do the clown things, but again, he won't be able to tunnel anymore. So yeah, that sucks for him. Springtrap is one of the more balanced killers, but I do think that just the fact that he has a ranged attack that damages pushes him up quite a little bit, because he can hit through loops. His X needs some time getting adjusted to. He's kind of the Demogorgon of B tier, I would say. If there was a Demogorgon in B tier, it would be Springtrap. He's, in my opinion, pretty fair and balanced. Alien, will get use out of the power, out of the killer buff, still cannot tunnel anymore, cannot slug. Screws him up a little bit. These two, in my opinion, are the same, with Wesker being harder to play. I could put Wesker below Nemesis. I just do think that when Wesker does work, he's way more consistent than Nemesis. Nemesis just needs a lot of time, you know, starting up. Sorry about that. Houndmaster, really clunky, really buggy, but when she does work, she does extremely well. Won't be affected nearly as much as the other killers. She's gonna do her thing still, once you see her in like every 3 months. Myers update seems very strong. Still there's counterplay to him. Some of the add-ons are really fun. I suggest you try them out, but like, I can't lie, the new update makes him pretty strong. He went from like possibly even here or here to here, so successful update, I would say. Some people don't like that he's a dash killer now, which, you know, technically he isn't. He is, but technically he isn't in a way, so yeah. Twins, still very obnoxious, still strong. It's just that their biggest strength got nerfed, but that won't stop the twins from downing you in like 2 seconds. Just saying. Freddy, extremely slept on, extremely underrated, will be able to use the killer buffs effectively. Yeah, that's all I have to say about Freddy. I think people sleep on this killer. I think Freddy, when played correctly, is very strong. And like, you can quote me on that one. Freddy is very strong. Artist, pretty much she will play the same thing. She didn't really go for slugs before either, so she's gonna pretty much stay the same. Pinhead, kind of the same story. So yeah, Unknown got nerfed disguised as adjustment, so Unknown goes down a little bit, but still, again, similar to like all of these killers, he's still gonna stay pretty strong. He doesn't usually tunnel or slug, so yeah. This is what I gotta make like a little break here. These changes, like I said before, are going to completely screw over all of these killers like here. Like, some of them are going to be less affected than the others, but they will all suffer, like, especially for killers like in lower parts of B tier and in C tier and D tier are going to suffer immensely. When you look at this tier list and you see, oh, there's so few C and D tier killers, killer must be good. No, this is the tier list to show you, you know, how much work you'll have to put into, like, you know, playing the way the devs want you to play. This is what this list, you know, is doing. Vecna, similarly to... these 4 killers are very similar in what they do. Vecna and Pyramid Head are just slightly more versatile than these two, so... and to be honest, a little bit harder to counterplay, so... that's why they go up here. Plague, one of the biggest strengths she has is that, you know, she can shut down healing completely. And, you know, it gives you... you don't have to worry so much about survivors healing. You can just go on and pressure them. If the survivors are cleansing constantly, you will constantly have your ranged power that, you know, you can down survivors pretty quickly with. So, yeah. Huntress, still stupid. Doesn't care about the changes, I think, whatsoever. Yeah. She will get punished because of the no notification now and no aura read. That's going to hurt her a little bit, but it doesn't change the fact that she's one of the dumbest killers in the game. Dracula... Dracula got a lot of nerfs. I'm sorry, like... and I want to make this clear. Dracula deserved nerfs. He was way overtuned. But he's still going to be very strong if you know what you're doing. Singularity, you know, you could make a case for him going here even, but I'm gonna put him here just due to the fact that there's still a little bit of work and planning that you have to do with him. So he goes here. Spirit, extremely stupid, still doesn't care about the changes all that much. Again, will not be able to tunnel. Yeah, yeah. Last time I think I put both of them here, but I think they go here. But they're still very powerful killers, S tier for sure, S minus at least. These three, I'm not gonna talk about them more at this point, like everybody knows what they do and why they're this high. When it comes to her, if I really had to put her somewhere as a prediction, I think she goes about here. That's my prediction, that she's going to be like a low to mid tier, low to mid A tier killer, is my prediction. But, you know, we'll see how this patch turns out. This tier list, I just made it mostly for fun, I'm gonna say, because in the end, what you're gonna see if this patch goes live, you're gonna see these 5 killers here, and maybe like these 3 here. This is what you're going to see. This is what you're going to see for the next God knows how long. The game is being review bombed on Steam, like I mentioned before, and I hope that the devs see this and they realize how dumb of an idea this entire thing is. And it's not really about the money anymore. Like, they might have put a lot of money into this update, but like, they are earning a lot of money. People are buying skins left and right. If this does go through, what the point of this update is going to be is catering to, and you know, I'm sorry if anyone feels offended by this, is catering to newbies and lower ranked, not lower ranked per se, but like lower skilled players. Okay, and like even now, even a team of slightly competent Swiss is going to absolutely demolish almost any killer. Even the top tiers can now get demolished for making mistakes. This was not the way to go. My opinion personally is that all of the killers that I've placed in A to S tier should have been nerfed, and all of the killers should have gotten some buffs, with the exclusion of maybe Myers, because I still don't know exactly how strong he'll be, and Houndmaster. The rest of these should have gotten some minor buffs. The ones that are in C and D should have gotten some bigger buffs. So yeah, it's just depressing. Like, I think I might actually quit this game after like what, almost 8 years of playing it, which is quite unfortunate. And I see a lot of other people wanting to quit, simply due to the killer being about as like, the killer role is now just a nuisance to repair generator simulator, holding M1 button and pressing space occasionally. That's what the killer role is right now. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Thank you for watching. I'd love to hear your opinions as well. I think some people were happy about these changes, and now that they're finally here, they're not happy anymore, which I'm glad to hear. I fucking called this being a garbage patch the moment I saw it. If they just did an anti-slug update, I wouldn't mind nearly as much, but like, anti-slug plus anti-tunnel, it's ridiculous, is what it is. That's all I have to say. So yeah, thank you everyone who watched. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more, go check me out on Twitch, like the video, subscribe, yada yada yada, all of these things. You know already how it goes, and yeah, that's all I have to say. And thank you, and you know, see you some other time. Yeah, take care.